Hello folks, I hope this video finds you well. This video is going to be a little bit different. It's for Inkstitch, but I'm not going to show you how to do something particular. This is going to be a showcase of my journey through Inkstitch. I've been using Inkstitch since 2004, roughly August, September, and I've done a lot of really good pieces, and I've done some not so good pieces. And I've gotten a lot of questions, comments, whatever you want to call it, and emails about doing a um, kind of a showcase of my stitch outs and how they turned out. So that's what this is going to be. What you're seeing on screen right now, that is the very first satin stitch I ever did, and it's just a satin stitch that's built into, it's a satin stitch font that's built into Inkstitch and has been since day one of Inkstitch, as far as I know. Day one of my experience with Inkstitch, for sure. And this was on a Brother flatbed, first machine we ever got, single needle. Fun times, fun times. And then I did just a little straight line underneath and then tried a different satin stitch font. It's pretty basic. Yeah, you got to start somewhere, right? This is something I made for my brother, and he already had this design laid out because he does architectural design and architectural drawing. So that's what he already had, and I turned that into stitching. Again, this is all fill stitch. It's not good. The lettering's not good. But again, you have to start from somewhere, right? Moving on. This is one of the very first things that I ever designed. Again, the Monjero logo is fill stitch instead of satin stitch. Not great, but I used the Inkstitch lettering tool for satin stitch words. Not bad. And at the time I was on Monjero Linux, and I really liked it a lot. I still like Monjero a lot, but for reasons I don't use Monjero anymore. That Linux was the first that's the first rolling release that I ever used, and it was because of Inkstitch. The Kubuntu version that I used didn't have the latest and greatest Inkscape that I needed to run Inkstitch. And even the development version of Kubuntu still didn't have it. I had to move to a rolling release to get the Inkscape version that I needed for that particular version of Inkstitch to work. So that's where Manjaro started. Knockdown Stitch. This was actually a demonstration I did. YouTube video, I believe, is still around for this one. Doing a knockdown stitch. So it actually turned out really nice. I like it. It is again a pre-made satin font. So that helped. This one. Man, I love this one. This one was a challenge. This one took me a week to do to get it to the amazing status that it is right now. It's one of my best stitch outs ever. But I did probably 8 or 10 test stitch outs to get to this point. And I don't know, zoom in okay, more or less. Kind of zooms in okay, but just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Those shirts turned out so nice. I think we did about, I remember right, something like 10 shirts on that order. Really good. This was a kind of a challenge. Somebody said, "Can you do this with the logo?" And I said yes. I did the test stitch out, sent it to them. We never got the order, but I still think it turned out pretty nice. So it's just a test piece, and we didn't do a final run. This is a business nearby that wanted us to do, I think it was some shirts, and This is Inkstitch's, preview. And this is on the shirt. Turned out really nice. Yeah, I do 100% believe I could have done better. But it's certainly not bad. I like it. Another business nearby. Pretty sure this is a test stitch on just some random fabric. That turned out really nice. That was a big run. This was a jacket that the wife wanted to surprise the husband with. Had a previous employer's logo on it, which we took off. That's why there's some, I wouldn't say damage, but there's some scarring underneath. So that's what that is. But the design turned out really nice. Love it. This is a hat I did for them as well. I did this hat for free just to show them, hey, we can do hats. If you're interested in hats, they did order a couple hats. So that was good. This was done for a friend of ours and a neighbor to my mom, Bobby and Linda, praying hands together. And this turned out fabulous. Did it on a towel set. I think we either did 2 or 4 towels. I don't remember which, but turned out absolutely amazing. I love it. This one is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this one was the very first gradient stitching that I did. And this was before Inkstitch had it, but it wasn't implemented yet. And you had to go in the back end and kind of do it a roundabout way. And I'm pretty sure this was that. Turned out really nice. I love this. I love this as an option in Inkstitch. Amazing. And they have it fully implemented now, so it does it more or less for you now. This was a viewer email that was asking for assistance. Don't remember exactly what it was, but I think most, if not all of it, they had done fill stitch, and I said, this is how you turn it into a satin stitch, and did all of it in satin stitch, sent it back to them. So, yeah, it stitched out very nice. This is the College font. That is the College font that I did. It is available on my website for free download. Go to lowtechlinux.com. It's pretty far back. It might be on page 3 at this point. All the way down at the bottom. College Inkstitch lettering. If I remember to, I will put a direct link in the video below that you can get to it directly. You can import this into you can unzip it and then put the folder into your custom fonts folder for Inkstitch, and it will show up. But they turned out really nice, and I use this font quite often, actually. One of my many random Linux hats that I did, Low Tech Linux, with the Tux Penguin. The Tux Penguin turned out okay, and the lettering I'm pretty sure is built-in font, but stitched out pretty good. This one I have on the YouTubes. This is turning a QR code into a stitching. You can stitch into a shirt and you have a QR code. And I have another one here. It is fill stitch. You can get a better stitch out doing it all satin stitch. I didn't want to take that much time on it, and it works. Even as a fill stitch, it works. This is a large order that we got. Slap Farms, local chicken place, chicken farm. And I think we did 50 hats, if I remember right. Turned out really good. Local school. This is their insignia and then their They are the Black Knights. And I was just playing around, randomly playing around, put this on a hat, put it in the store, see how fast it sold. It sold in about a week, so not bad. But I didn't do another run. I only did the one hat. So somebody has a one of a kind out there. Friend of mine, Karate Studio. Uh, this one turned out really nice. The characters is done in bean stitch, straight line bean stitch, and then the lettering turned out really good. Some more random hats that I did for our local store. Put these in the store and they sell up pretty quick. Oh, this one's awesome. I love this one. Avocado cut in half, the center of it being a heart. Local business, Madewell Health. Turned out extremely well. I love this design. This was me playing around with, what's it called? 3D Puff. This is my own 3D Puff based on my College font. And I just did a few extra modifications to these two letters to turn them into a 3D Puff enabled stitching. And it turned out very nicely. Got it on a hat. I did a run of about 5 of these. They sold relatively okay. One of my favorite designs right here. This is, I make these regularly. They sell out quickly. There's very few stitches. A very small stitch count. I don't remember what it is, but I'm thinking it's like 800. So they stitch out really quick. I have 2 hat hoops. By the time the one that's on the machine gets done, I have processed the one before and put the next one on a hoop. Take that one off, put this one on, rinse and repeat. I can do probably about 8 an hour, 6 to 8 an hour. Maybe even more if I just really bared down on it. But yeah, simple design. And all of this is bean stitch and straight stitch. So this one's really cool because it's the first time that I used contour fill. This chameleon is contour fill. Go into params, change your autofill to contour fill, and it did this. I love it. So this is a local ranch. BR, don't remember what the BR stands for, but this is their logo. And I love how this turned out. It is all fill, but I still like how it turned out. Another low-tech Linux, did the Tux Penguin. I did it in a bean stitch. It's okay. It turned into a good work hat. This I was playing around with. Oh man, this one's actually pretty cool. So this one's going to take a little explaining. Obviously, I did red, white, and blue for USA. And the satin stitch around it is red, white, and blue. But there's also a fill stitch, and the fill stitch has 3 layers, red, white, and blue, and they are done in a meander fill. So red, white, and blue meander fill on each letter, and then red, white, and blue satin stitch around the outside, So really, this one turned out absolutely wonderful. I couldn't be much happier. This one sold quickly. I need to do this again. I need to make another run of these. I forgot all about these. So again, if you do a letter, it has to be a system font letter or a system letter to get a fill out of it, and then duplicate that 3 times. You create 3 fills. Duplicate it again. No fill. Do a stroke. Make sure your stroke's at least 1.5 mil wide, and then turn that stroke into a satin stitch. And that's basically what I did. It's super easy. It's all done in Inkstitch tools, and the design, the result's actually really nice. Somebody will think you worked a really long time at making that design. Just another random hat. This is the prior logo that I was trying to come up with for low-tech Linux. It's supposed to be the L and then the T and then the L. just looks like LL. So it didn't turn out great. I have a new logo now. I just haven't done a hat for it yet. When I do, I'll be wearing it in that next video, I'm sure. But yeah, it didn't turn out great. The stitch out result's good. So there is that. This is another meander fill. This is another local high school. We have a bunch of them. Greenville Devils, so G Devil, and or G Horn is what we call it. It's a meander fill, one layer, a green meander fill, and then another layer on top of that, no fill, stroke. Turn that stroke into a satin stitch. Voila. Super easy to make. They look great. They absolutely look great. Same thing. Opposite color. I love this one. This one turned out so amazing. And this is all 100% me done it. Didn't use any previously made font. I don't think that bottom one's a previously made font. I'm pretty sure it's not. But this is directly from their logo. It turned out spot on. I love it. It's almost perfect. I couldn't have asked for a result to be much better. Oh, and the leaves coming up are bean stitch again. So that's that effect. Very cool. Another local business, landscaper, tree and landscaper. This is their logo directly from them. The trunk of the tree and the little man and the ground on the bottom and these little loops on the side, they're all done in satin stitch, including the trunk, satin stitch. And then the only fill here is the leaf effect of the tree. So that one turned out really good. And this is it on a finished product. Turned out amazing. And the back, same thing, just a little larger. Turned out just, again, couldn't have asked for much better. Turned out really good. Another random Linux. This is actually one of my early ones. I don't know why I've got it in this order. But that Linux is not satin stitch. And that Monjero is not satin stitch either. So this is actually one of my early ones. So not great, but you know, showing you the not great ones too. Another Linux hat. This one's pretty cool because the Tux Penguin is done in satin and then fill. Or no. Nope, that's a fill. The Monjero logo is satin. And the KDE Plasma logo is also satin. I think the tux is fill. But anyway, turned out really nice. Again, still using Monjero at that time. This, so Sweetie's father likes science and technology and stuff like that. So our bonding moments is usually computers. He actually runs Linux. When he asked me about Linux, he does programming. He said he needed the most recent version and it's not on Windows. Is it on Linux? I said, let me check. Then I said, yes, it is. And the next time we went there, he said, I installed Linux. And I'm like, wow, wow, very cool. Anyway, we bond on James Webb Telescope. I did this right about the time that the James Webb Telescope launched or deployed after it got to its destination, right before it deployed at its destination. I can't remember which, but did this and then put it on a pillow. That pillow is still sitting in this chair at his house to this day. So very cool. Absolutely cool. One of my favorites. Another one of my favorites. WRMI Legends is an internet radio station. The lady, I'm wanting to say the wife of, I'm not sure, contacted me and asked me how to do the logo. Once I figured out WRMI Legends, I think she asked me if I would do lessons for her. or show her how to do it or something to that effect. So I ended up doing it for a YouTube video. 100% the whole finished product. Sent it back to her and said, consider this a donation, and your radio station is very cool. So this is the logo that she sent me. Very cool design. I need you to notice that there is blue shading the same color as the WRMI. And this is my simulator. I hope you can see the green leaf, palm tree leaf effect there. I love it. I love it. And the stitch out. Now the colors are different because I was being lazy. Didn't want to change the colors on the 15 needle machine just to do a stitch out on not fabric. So that part was lazy, but the stitch out is phenomenal. This turned out very good. For the palm trees, it is a E-stitch satin. And then on an E-stitch, you have one side that's a hard line and one side that's open. And I just reversed. I did one on one side, and then I made the other side of the satin stitch the other way. So both of the hard lines on the side are both in the center of the palm tree leaf. I love it. This is just such an amazing result. And back to the beginning. That is all I've got. Certainly not all I've done, but it's all I could find photos of because roughly 2 years ago my computer crashed and I lost my hard drive. So that is part of that. And I was able to pull off some of it from Google Photos and all that good stuff. But I don't take pictures of everything either because a lot of times, especially with the YouTube videos, if somebody's asking me for help and I think it'll make a good YouTube video to help others as well, most of the time I will show to do the thing, and then send that file back to whoever sent it to me and share the video and say, this is how you do that, and I'm sending you the file in case you can't get it or it's not working for you. Here's the file of my end result. And I don't always do a test stitching. Most of the time I don't. Now, if it's something amazing and I think it turned out great, like the WRMI, I will absolutely do testing just because I want to know. But most of the time I don't. So not everything that I've done I've got finished results for. But that is, by the time I edit this down, it's going to be roughly 20-25 minutes. I think that's a pretty good showcase of what I've done. I will post all of these pictures at some time in the near future. I will post on my website, lowtechlinux.com, in an article and just, label it my archive or something like that. But all of these photos will be available with some editing for names and all that. But yeah. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little walk down memory lane. For me, it was pretty fun, and especially considering how bad some of them are. Yeah. Anyway, but that's going to do it for this video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.